making an electrical outlet plate for your home out of a 2x4. Okay, now first thing you want to do is you want to run your 2x4 through your table saw, which we'll show you here in a minute, to get it square. All right, remove that rounded over edge. Okay, how you accomplish this is you put your face plate against your blade or your fence, slide your fence over, all right, so that it's touching. All right, you back it off just a hair, just a smidge, a little bit of wiggle room, lock your handle down. All right, now we have the spacing. Okay, once you have the spacing, make sure it'll slide from one end to the other, that it's not twisted at an angle. All right, so it's running straight and true all the way through. You know you're good. That's for getting your thickness. Okay, now when you run this through the saw, you want to start out, run it through your table saw. Don't flip it around, flip it over on its back. That way that this edge stays to the inside. Okay, and you run it through again, but I will show you how to do that in just a minute. Now before we get to doing anything else, we're going to finish running this through. Okay, always be as careful as you can when you're operating a table saw. They are very dangerous. Okay, I'm going to drop the blade. That blade is up too high, so I'm going to drop it down because I only need it up about an inch roughly. Okay, so I'm going to lower the blade. Now you want pressure to the fence and down to the table. All right, so pressure into the fence and down to the table as you're running this through. Okay. Here's our blank. All right. Now let's show you what we're going to do next. All right, here's our blank. We ran it all the way through. As you see, I turned the blade down. Now I'll show you what's next. The nice thing about these electrical plates, they could be a switch like this, or a cover. All right, when you're using a 2x4, you can make it whatever width you like. You can want them all bigger, you want them more narrow. All right, the newer switch plates today are wider, so this is a standard contemporary old-fashioned width. Okay, and as you see, okay, it's just the same size. Now I can work this edge, all but the last one. Okay, where I just cut it to this size at this point. Okay, and I work that edge there. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to come over here on our blank here, and we're going to bring this, this would be the back side, all right? I'll sand this a little bit, and but this is going to be our face. Okay, there's advantages not cutting this first, all right? I would say you cut your width, your thickness last, all right? You cut the thickness last. You take your block, your 2x4, you get it the same width as your plate, or however wide you want to make it, or however much longer you want to make it, all right? So this is cool. Now, I'm going to put like a 15-degree angle, and the reason I say this gives you the advantage, because you can hold it, you can do your round over, and it gives you more control over your material. Doing this, holding this, clamping this little piece makes it more difficult to work. So it's easier to work if you start out with this here, all right? It's bigger, it's smoother, it'll work better, all right? To get your edges, get your profile here. Okay, so we're going to do about a 15-degree angle on here. All right, so I'm going to come across this. I'm going to cut this corner about like this right here. All right, so it's going to round over this way. It's going to round down here. All right, so we're going to get this 15-degree radius, which will be really close to what we have here on the factory. Okay. Alright, once you get your angle, alright, you want to get your 15 degrees on it, alright? Now, I'll show you the angle I'm at. There's my angle, alright? It matches the pencil line, okay? And once you get this, you bring this on down to the face, and you bring this around to the surface of the top, alright? So you flatten and round it out. Okay? We'll slowly work it down, okay? Right to the face. Okay, there's the round over. Alright, we're taking shape. It's starting to take shape, you see. Now, we're going to go from the flat on the surface around to the face here, flat. Alright, slowly working this edge. Here we go. Slowly working it. Now let's take a look at this. There we are. Now I'm going to come back here and sand just a little bit more here and put just a slight angle coming across. All right. About a 5-7 degree angle over here. Okay, and then going to round this on over. Okay. And that's how it's coming. That's how it's looking. Okay. Same over here. Okay, now this is what it's looking like, all right? Okay, so now let's see. All right, so I'm just going to come across here at an angle, flatten this side at an angle, flatten that out at an angle. We'll have these ridges, and it'll be a custom. All right. Okay. All right, now you want to count. I counted about 10 seconds per side. Okay, and here's the profile. All right, so there it is. Now I'm going to cut this off, and I'll have my switch plate. Okay, here we have it. There's your profile. Now the cool thing about this is you can paint this the same color as your wall now, and it will not stand out. All right, there's a few little imperfections I need to kind of take some detail to and take out, but there it is. Let me zoom in. Okay, homemade switch plate. The only thing I have left to do is take this, put this on here, and mark my screw holes now. Get that centered. All right, get that centered on here. We're good. Okay, mark out for the screw holes, and I can drill my holes. And I've got the screws for the right diameter holes. There you have it. Now remember, Easy 2 tips and tricks where you see everything up close and personal. Tell a friend, it's a win-win-win. And this is for this. All right, I got to mark this, cut this out with this jigsaw. Mark my holes. As you see, it's much bigger than this. All right, it's hard to find these big plates. As it is, I had to glue it because it broke on me with crazy glue. All right, so now I'm going to have a nice wooden one. And if you don't want them to stand out, like I said, you can just paint it the same color as your wall. If you want them white, get some paint and do this in paint. You probably have to primer this so that it doesn't bleed through first. But you can use a can of Kilz, spray it with the can of Kilz, prime it, let it dry, go over it with whatever color paint you want to make them, and bam, there it is. So tell a friend, it's a win-win-win. Easy 2 tips and tricks where you see everything up close and personal. Bye for now, and never give up, because there's always a way. Always. Okay, marking it. All right, now we are going to make it bigger. We're going to use this Phillips tip. I'm just going to push in and down and work this in a circle. and I will ream it out. So it'll be a countersink for the head of the screw, all right? Right now, it's not gonna counter, okay? But when I get done, it will. All right, we've made this wider. Okay, let me show you what that's gonna look like. Okay, and now that will counter. It'll be flush with the surface. All right, now we're gonna drill our holes. All right, you can see that the drill is a little bit bigger than the head of the threads on the screw. In the shaft, you can use a little smaller bit if you like, but this will be fine. I'll show you. All right, let's put this in there. See if she's gonna counter. Moment of truth. There we are. Flush. Okay, there it is. Perfect. All right, now, just to show you how this is going to work. Now, the heads of these screws are just a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, all I have to do is paint it, same color as this wall, and we are good. Okay. All right, you can see that this is flush. Okay. I can go in just a tad more. Now I can paint this same color as the wall. And you want to make your screws the same. All right, you don't want them off. Okay. Now, there you go. Now, if this was a wood panel wall, if this was a paneled wall, this is all you'd have to do. All right, so remember, Easy 2 tips and tricks where you see everything up close and personal. Tell a friend, it's a win-win-win. How to make